Hi, everybody. For today's meditation, we are going to be working with a sound and a breath that is pretty quiet. So I'm using a little bit stronger mic today. So we have every chance at having you hopefully hear some of the sound. But if you can't hear exactly what I'm talking about, hopefully you'll at least get a sense. The breath that we're going to be working with today is called the Lunar breath. And it's a breath that is used in the practice of Continuum. It's a breath that's very soothing for our nervous system. And it's a breath that can be sort of a settling, a dissipating breath. This is a breath and a sound that can help with beginning to blur the barriers and boundaries of our tissues and the different boundaries that we might have in our system. It's a blending breath. And so for today's meditation, we are going to be using this breath intermittently. We're going to be using the breath to meet thought. If thoughts start to enter, we'll just lunar and we'll send the sound of lunar into the thought itself to help dissipate it and to help settle deeper into the relaxation state of our nervous system and to help ourselves sort of expand out into space a bit. So let me talk to you a little bit about the lunar breath itself. So the way you make this sound is by breathing in through the nose, and then as you're exhaling, you want the breath to kind of feel like a caress through your throat, a caress through your system. The breath itself actually kind of sounds like, when you hold a seashell, actually, I happen to have a seashell here. When you hold a seashell up to your ear, and that just kind of that soft sort of that you can have happen in the ear if you imagine holding a seashell up to your ear. So one thing that can be helpful to think about as we're making this breath is having that image of, when you fog a mirror when you're a kid, sort of. So letting yourself have that imagery, but it's like we're fogging the back of our throats. So that's an image that one of the Continuum teachers, Beth Riley, likes to use in describing how to make this sound. So the way I'm going to lead you into it today is by just beginning to have a hum sound. So we'll make the sound of and then try again a little bit softer. And now let the hum be there, but without the sound going through your vocal cords. So it's just a breath. The hum just becomes a breath sound. So I'm going to do a few, and you may not be able to hear the sound completely as if you were sitting right next to me. And even if you were sitting right next to me, it would be hard to hear. It's pretty quiet. But see if you can sort of get a sense, a feel for it as I do it. Let your nervous system sort of receive what my nervous system is offering you through making this sound. So see if you can just take it in as I do a few here. Good. So the breath, if any of you are familiar with the Ujjayi breath in yoga, there's some similarity, except with Ujjayi, there's more of a push through the throat with the breath. And the lunar breath can sound a little bit similar. It's a little bit softer, but it's more of a caress, and it's almost like it's just kind of dissipating through the throat, through the tissue of the throat, through the tissue of our bodies, and through the barriers of our being. So when I think of lunar breath, I think of a caress. I think of that sound that the seashell makes when you hold it up to its ear, or the sound that the air in the seashell makes when you hold it up to your ear. It's very soft, it's calming, it's dissipating, and it's offering a caress into the system. So those are the things I think about with the lunar breath. It can be a very powerful breath. This is actually a breath I use in place of anesthetic during some medical procedures at different points in time. It's a breath where I have been able to come down from like asthmatic attacks, or when my system is really worked up and I'm having challenge breathing. The lunar breath is a nice way to sort of start to bring the nervous system down and be able to reach into those places so that you can find some settling and just begin to have some breath penetrate and get into those areas. So you see me doing this a lot, but this is kind of what lunar breath is in my experience, this dissipating, a caress, a softening. So during the meditation, we are going to be basically just sitting and offering some lunar breaths to our system. So we'll start, why don't we together first, I'm going to do, I'll lead you in with a hum sound, and then we'll go into a few lunar breaths, you just taking a few lunar breaths on your own. And then I'll guide you through being able to use them off and on as we sit for a few minutes here today. I want to do at least 7 minutes. So let's begin. Letting your eyes start to soften a bit, letting your gaze go either down towards the floor or your eyes completely close. And just taking a moment to bring your attention within your own body, your own being. And just noticing, without having to tell your breath to do anything in particular, how it's moving through your body today. And now let's start with just a hum sound. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling with a hum. Good. And then one more. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling with a little bit softer hum. And now with the next breath, you're going to inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, let your exhale be whatever version of the lunar you can do right now. And don't worry about it needing to be perfect, just giving this breath a try. So inhaling. And then lunar, the mouth is closed as the breath comes through the back of the throat. Good. So we're going to continue with this lunar breath. What I want you to do is just at your own pace, offering yourself anywhere from 4 to 6 lunar breaths, just letting them come, again, a soft caress through your system, and then letting yourself start to go back to some just regular breathing for a moment or two, noticing some of the change, and then we'll go back to lunar. So let's continue with lunar now, just offering yourself anywhere from 4 to 6 breaths. And while you're lunaring, you may notice some subtle movements that want to happen in your body. And if that happens, you just go ahead and let it. Sort of take the brakes off to the movement. Sometimes I notice that my eyes begin to roll back or drop into their sockets. I notice a softening in my spine. I might notice a change in my breathing pattern. So I just want to let the body readjust. And now, if you haven't already, come to a pause for the lunaring and just let your breath do whatever it's going to do. For a few moments, having a few moments here in open attention, which means just noticing what's here now. And then as you're ready, or especially if you're finding other thoughts are beginning to come in, begin with another 4 to 6 cycles of the lunar. So inhaling in with the nose, and then as we exhale, letting the mouth stay closed and the lunar breath happen. It's a good way to course correct if thoughts are coming into your meditative space and time, offering a lunar as they come, and just seeing that thought dissipate as the lunar breath enters your consciousness. Good, and then just letting the breath go again. Some moments of open attention, just noticing here, letting your breath do anything that it wants to in this space. And then one more round, 4 to 6 breaths at least of the lunar here. Inhaling through the nose, and with the exhale, let your first lunar come. Good, and then having a few more moments here, letting go of the lunar and just in open attention. And just notice if there's been any change in your system, any change in the way that you're breathing. Any change in your ability to soften into the support beneath you. Any change in your relationship to space. It's certainly not a requirement to have change, but if it's there, it's a good idea to notice it and bring it into your awareness. When we notice change, we have the best chance at that change being a more integrated experience and being able to bring it through to the rest of our lives. And then as you feel ready, you can begin to open your eyes nice and slowly. Taking in the surroundings in your environment. And as you're ready, begin gently moving into the rest of your day. So the lunar breath can be a great tool for when we're sitting in meditation. Again, we can use it as thoughts start to come into our awareness or as our mind starts to run away a bit. It can be also a great breath to use if you have any places of discomfort in your body. Just sending the lunar to those places of discomfort, offering a caress, offering the opportunity for ease. This can also be a great breath to use if we find ourselves in stressful situations where we're really feeling tight or guarded. As I mentioned before, I've used this breath even as a form of anesthetic with medical procedures. It really can be a powerful breath to master and be with. It's a really beautiful gift for our nervous system. So I would encourage you to maybe experiment with this breath a few times throughout your day. Maybe set a timer for yourself so that maybe 4 times throughout the day you have a pause where you can just put in at least 4 to 6 lunars, longer if you want to. And take a moment of open attention before you lunar and a moment after, just so that you can notice the difference. And so if there is one, your body can start to integrate that difference more easily. This breath, part of the beauty of this breath is that it's done so quietly that you could even do this in the grocery store, in your car. You could do it at the doctor's office, in a meeting, and no one will ever know you're doing it. So it can be a great secret little tool to have in your tool belt. I hope you all have enjoyed learning about Lunar, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to you and try and address any questions or concerns you might have. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day and don't forget to lunar away. Hi everyone, welcome back. If you enjoyed that meditation or found it helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, or commenting below. Also, if you'd like to be informed about my upcoming offerings, any classes, series, or workshops that are coming out, then go ahead and click the link below and I will make sure you are on a list of the very first to know. I hope that the rest of your day has peace and goodness. Thanks for watching.